Hi everyone and welcome back to my channel. I hope you're all well. This is Lifestyle Critic, where we break down movies and TV shows into their core elements, and in this video we are going to be reviewing Harry Potter and the Prisoner of Azkaban, which is the third Harry Potter movie, and it really does shift the tone in this film to be a lot more darker, a lot more grittier, and to have a lot more granular character development in this film. It also boasts a much bigger canvas, so they film in a lot more exotic locations in this film, and it's the only Harry Potter film as well to feature time travelling, so it's really interesting to see how that concept is woven into the Harry Potter fabric. And it's also got Michael Gambon taking on the role of Albus Dumbledore after Richard Harris tragically got sick and passed away, so this is a bit of a new take on that character. It's also got a new director in the name of Alfonso Cuaron, as Christopher Columbus steps down into the producer capacity in this film, so it definitely is a new take on the franchise, which I'm going to be breaking down for you in this movie review. So from a storyline point of view, the film starts off at the Dursleys, where we're introduced to a new Dursley member, Aunt Marge Dursley, and she is insulting Harry's parents, so he resolves this by turning her into a balloon and then she flies away. He then leaves the Dursley house and boards onto a magical night bus in the eerie dark and heads over to the Leaky Cauldron. Over there he finds out that Sirius Black has escaped Azkaban and has made it his life mission to find Harry Potter and to kill Harry Potter. We're also introduced to the Dementors, who are soulless creatures that suck out people's happiness and their intelligence. So they're very formidable characters, and they are guarding Hogwarts School to protect the school from the Sirius Black character. The students then all need to face their biggest fears, which is really interesting. They have a confrontation with the Sirius Black character, which involves a bit of a twist. And there is also the brilliant time traveling aspect in this movie as well, which really does make it unique. So from a storyline point of view, it's pretty jam-packed in Prisoner of Azkaban. So from a cast and characters point of view, the majority of the cast members are back in this movie, which is absolutely brilliant. The casting for Harry Potter films is always on point, and this film is no exception. With that, so let's go through them one by one. So first up we have Daniel Radcliffe, who is back as Harry Potter. And like I said, because it's the new director in this film, there's definitely a new take on all of the different characters. And from Harry's point of view, he's become a lot more unapologetic. You can totally see that from the opening scene in this film, and he's becoming a lot more expressive, as well as, of course, he has to deal with really challenging situations and really shocking revelations. We then have Emma Watson, who is also back as Hermione Granger, and she equally does step it up in this film as well. In the previous film, she was made to feel really inferior for being Muggle-born, and in this film you can really see her bringing it. She definitely has a brilliant confrontation with the Draco Malfoy character, who was the person that was making her feel really bad in the first place. And when it comes to all of the time travelling aspects in the final act, it does kind of feel like Hermione Granger's movie, as she is definitely the person that is leading the charge with that storyline. We then have Rupert Grint, who is back as Ron Weasley, who is definitely the comic relief person from the core trio, and they kind of explore a lot more of the relationship between Ron and Hermione. We also have Tom Felton back as Draco Malfoy, and like I said, his rivalry seems to be a lot more with the Hermione Granger character than Harry Potter in this particular film. Like I said before, we then have Michael Gambon, who is recasted into the role of Albus Dumbledore, and he definitely has a new take on this character. He's less kind of sweet older grandfather type, and there's a lot more forthright and definitely not one to be messed with, and you definitely see this playing along in the next couple of films from this actor's portrayal. We then have Gary Oldman, who is playing the Sirius Black character, the escaped convict from Azkaban, who's made it his mission to find and kill Harry Potter, but like I said, there's a bit of a twist at the end of this film. We also have Lupin, who is the new Defense Against the Dark Arts teacher. We have Snape in here, who has a really hilarious scene while Lupin is trying to teach his class. We also have Hagrid, who is a teacher this time around, which is really interesting, and he is bringing in a hippogriff, which is a creature that's a blend between an eagle and a horse, and the hippogriff definitely has his own storyline in this film as well. So from a cast and characters point of view, Prisoner of Azkaban is actually pretty decent. So from a visuals point of view, I'd definitely say Prisoner of Azkaban is a lot more expansive than the previous two installments. They go to new areas of the school that you haven't seen before, they travel to a lot more exotic locations, and the terrain that they go on is very different to what you've seen before. So from a visual masterpiece point of view, it's really nice as you get to see loads of new places in this film, which is absolutely brilliant. Speaking of travelling, the time travelling aspect of this film was really, really clever. I really like what they did with the final act of this movie, and it all pieces together really, really nicely. Like I said before, we also have the Hippogriff character, which is a new creature that comes alive really, really well through the cinematic experience of this film. But finally, I would say that the Dementors were a little bit disappointing. They were creepy, but I do feel like they could have done a little bit more with them. But you know, that being said, from a visuals point of view, Prisoner of Azkaban definitely does take it up to a new level. So from a comparison point of view, Prisoner of Azkaban is the only film to not have Voldermort in any capacity and to also have some time travelling aspects in there. So from that point of view, it's really, really unique, and I really like the fact that they went to new locations in this film, so it really did make Harry Potter world kind of feel a lot more expansive and a lot more expanded, which was really, really great. It did kind of step it up as well from the previous two films in terms of being a lot more darker and a lot more grittier, and it also saw the characters deal with more grown-up situations as well. I mean, I do prefer other Harry Potter movies such as Chamber of Secrets and Deathly Hallows, but that being said, for all of the reasons that I said before, Prisoner of Azkaban is definitely epic in its own right as well. So overall, I would say, you know, the Harry Potter franchise can't really do any wrong. But that being said, you know, Prisoner of Azkaban was really great in terms of they definitely stepped up a gear. It was very character driven. The twist at the end was really, really great. I mean, there are better twists out there in terms of the Harry Potter movies, but I did like the fact that they were trying something new with this film. And so for all of those reasons, I'm going to give it a solid 6.5 out of 10. I'd love to hear what you think, so please let me know in the comment section below. Otherwise, I look forward to seeing you in my next video.